So, Stu, tell me what you know about the guy who says I had sex with Tucker Carlson from the past, not what you know now.
Well, I had never heard of a guy having sex with Tucker Carlson, and so that's another breaking news story.
Well, we'll get to that one in a little while. Believe me, the press will pay attention to that one.
I will say I've completely ignored the story.
You've completely ignored the story.
Completely ignored it. Everything you tell me,
this story.
I sort of remember the headlines, never really cared about it.
Okay.
So everything you were about to tell me is new information.
Okay. So Stu has a very selective memory, and this is a story that...
It wasn't me, was it? Because that would be...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was you.
See, it is. I told you, all new information.
All that crack. Yeah. All that crack.
You know, when you're on crack, you forget a lot of things.
Okay. So anyway, this is a story that back in 2007, 2008, somewhere in that area, this story surfaced. And it is a guy who says, "No, I had sex and smoked crack with Barack Obama." Now, these were the days where those things were crazy. I mean, I know they're run-of-the-mill today, but back in the old days, we didn't have presidents that were smoking crack and having gay sex that we know of. What do you think? What do you think that tall hat on Abraham Lincoln was? Crack pipes. Anyway, so I remember this coming out, and we had no verification of anything. We never talked about it because we looked, and I think I even said on radio at one point, guys, we don't have to go to the gay sex crack pipe thing. There's enough on the Marxist front. And we were in the midst of fighting the Jeremiah Wright fight that the media also dismissed, okay? They dismissed absolutely everything about Barack Obama because he was their candidate. Now, I have long forgotten about the gay sex thing with Barack Obama. But the man it was a magical evening for him. He hasn't forgotten. Now, the reason this is a story today is because Barack Obama's old girlfriend received a letter from Barack Obama when they were dating, and then they broke up, and I think this letter might have had something to do with it, where he talked about thinking about having sex with men all the time. And, she just didn't think that was, her cup of tea. They had a lot in common. She also thought about having sex with men, but didn't like her boyfriend to be thinking that way, apparently. So nobody in the press even asked her about it. That she's just turned over the letter because I don't even know who looked into it. Somebody looked into it and started going through, and they found this trail, led to her. Then the letter was produced, and we now know. So this guy is going to be on Tucker Carlson. No, this guy is going to appear on the Twitter show that Tucker Carlson hosts. How's that? Is that better?
Much.
Yeah. And he's, let me just, here he is.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah. Pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
You just asked the obvious question, what was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Woo.
That's a good way to wake up in the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, just a regular run-of-the-mill Wednesday in America.
Is it possible to rewind my life and delete the past 5 minutes? Is that possible? Is that something that's out there? Is that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Is that a documentary?
We could.
Because
I mean, very soon, I have a feeling.
In knowing less about this story. Can I know less about it?
Well, here's why this story is important. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's only one reason this is important, because I don't care about anybody's lifestyle. I do think it's interesting that the first black president, now some are saying the first gay president, but they don't know about Polk, is Barack Obama. He came out against all of this stuff. Okay. The press, all they had to do was investigate. Now, there were so many things going on at the time. The Jeremiah Wright thing I thought was much more important. I don't know if we knew about the crack thing, but the gay sex we knew.
We didn't know.
I mean, we know this guy said it.
Right.
And that's why we never reported it. It was one source. Now with the letter, that looks pretty bad. Pretty bad. Like, yeah, okay, that probably happened. The reason why this is important is because times have changed so much. The press did not pursue this story. There was not one person in the press that decided on their own to pursue this story. If this story would have come out with the letter in 2007, would things have been different? Or would the press have said the same thing they said about Hunter Biden? I contend they would have done exactly the same thing they did with Hunter Biden. They would have claimed that this was not true. This is just a smear because he's black, blah, 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 blah. So has the media changed at all? Because they're still not reporting this. Now with the letter, they're still not reporting this. And again, this guy, he didn't have any credibility with me. I have no idea, who he is. But the letter now gives this great weight. So they're doing the same thing. They're just ignoring this one, hoping that it will go away. And by doing so, half the nation knows something that the other half does not. By doing so, half the nation has information that the other side has no idea about, thus causing another fracture and balkanization. Because when you get together with somebody and you're having dinner, Thanksgiving, and I hope this doesn't come, but if this comes up, you're going to have all the people in your family say, there you go again, making stuff up. And being probably very, very upset about it. If I found out this about Donald Trump or anybody else, I would want to know it. But they don't even get the ability to decide. The same thing is happening now with the government. You may not be able to decide if you can vote for Barack Obama or, Donald Trump or not. Because they know better. For the people who claim democracy is so important, they're trying everything they can to eliminate Donald Trump from the ballot, including telling states to remove him from the ballot, trying to get him under the 14th Amendment, which does not apply here, trying to put him in jail. Any of these things, just so you cannot vote for who you want to vote for. If that's Barack Obama, if that is Donald Trump, then it's Donald Trump. But trust the American people. But they don't. This should tell you everything you need to know about progressives and everything you need to know about the media, which are progressives. They don't think you're smart enough. They want to be the arbiter of the information that you get. Look at the CDC. I have no problem with the CDC. I don't like the way it was done, but I have no problem with drug companies trying to come up with a vaccine. I have no problem. What I have a problem with is they didn't even live by their own rules. Okay, so that would make me say, I'm not going to take this until other people have taken this. I want to see, because this is first time ever this has been done. I don't think I'm going to take it. My problem is not with people who decided to take it or the people that were offering it. My problem was being forced. My problem was, we know better than you. My problem was the FDA saying, you can't use these other options. Who the hell are you to tell my doctor? Who are you to tell my doctor that I can't take drugs that have been on the market for 100 years? Who are you? You know better than my personal doctor? How dare you? You should feel about Fauci and everybody else the same way you feel about Fauci and all those who tried to jam this down your throat and make you into a monster. You should feel the same way about the press. Because the press is also making all of your decisions. By excluding information, we have numbers, research has come out that shows 15% of the people that voted for Joe Biden, had they known about the Hunter Biden laptop, had they been told about it, had they not been told that it was a Russian op, would have changed their vote and not voted for Joe Biden. Okay. They made the decision for you. You didn't need to know that information. There's one thing about people not reporting because you have one source. I didn't report this story. It would come up and I would dismiss it. If it ever come up on the air, I would say there's enough with Jeremiah Wright. No need to go into that rumor. We don't know if that's true. It's another thing when you have physical evidence. The press's job is to look at everyone with equal eyes, but they don't anymore. If you're running, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you're running and there's information out there, I don't want to hear all of the rumors and innuendos. But these large organizations have the people to do the research. They have the people to go and the resources to go and investigate. Thank God now the right has the resources.